Welcome to the Fourth Line Hockey Show. I'm your host, Willie Plouffe. What a great show we have today, Gerald. My winger, Gerald Hasbeek, hanging out again at Royal Sports Shop.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Good to be here.
Great to be at Royal. Great topic today. We have sledge hockey. We got some great guests coming in. We got, guys who play it, guys who help start it. I've seen it. I haven't played it. Man, that's a tough sport.
Oh yeah, well it's interesting to watch, and it's going to be real informative to hear about just about getting involved in it. Also, the rules, regulations, and just what everything's about.
It's in Hockey Manitoba is part of it. They have their own webpage. The guys are going to explain. We're going to bring in Bill Muloin, and Sam Unrau is a player. Bill's a player. We're going to talk all about sledge hockey. We're going to talk, there's a Canadian national team, and some we have. I'm not going to, there's sticks, we have the sticks. If you see the back bombs or sticks for picking on the ice, I don't even want to be part of that, going in the corner with one of those guys.
Well, I think a lot of people don't realize how physical a sport it is. It's demanding, and these guys are, probably as athletic, if not more athletic than a traditional hockey player. So, yeah, it's a big deal.
You know what? I can't wait to get into it and look at all this, the moves, the shots. It's just like, playing hockey, but in sledge hockey, you're on the ground and moving around. I know, Gerald, if I had a piece of you on that ice in sledge hockey, I think I'd take you right out.
Well, I know a lot of people, and maybe some of our viewers have seen you play. Maybe sledge hockey is a better alternative for you. You might excel a little bit better. You
know what? I don't know. Some of those guys are pretty tough, and I don't want to get caught in any corners. So when we come back here, we're going to break off, and when we come back, we're going to get right with Bill, right from Sledge Hockey Manitoba. He's going to all talk everything about it, introduce who Bill is, and then we'll bring Sam and talk to one of his players, getting at it. So let's break off. We'll be right back at you.
You don't need a media monkey to make healthy choices. Think for yourself. A message from Concerned Children's Advertisers.
Let's go! Let's go!
Great job. We got one place, let's make this count.
I touched the ball before it went out, Coach.
Come on, Alex, the ref did not call that. It's the championship game.
I touched it, it's their ball.
Don't foul them when they inbound. Alex. Good call.
Sportsmanship. Pass it on.
Talking here at Royal Sports Shop, sledge hockey, man. Sledge hockey is one sport that, you need to be in shape, Gerald.
And tough to handle that strenuous activity, big time.
Well, let's bring in Bill, our first guest, who is part of sledge hockey. He started it, he runs it, he coaches it, he plays it. Let's bring on in Bill. Bill, welcome to Fourth Line Hockey Show.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Willie.
Welcome, Bill.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome. Bill, all our guests on the Fourth Line Hockey Show, we always start off, tell us about Bill. Who is Bill?
Okay, well, I'm the supervisor for Children's Leisure and Recreation at Society for Manitobans with Disabilities, and I've been there for about 12 years, and I run a lot of different adapted sports, and sledge hockey is now one of them. It falls under my portfolio, and started in 2007. So really, that's Bill Muloin in a nutshell, I guess.
And how long you been playing it, Bill?
Well, we brought it in 2007, and I've been playing it ever since, so we're at 2013. So we don't count the first year as because it was a startup year, so we were kind of just mucking around and playing in some of the sleds we had in the basement at SMD. And so I would say probably about 5 years now, hard playing sledge. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, obviously, it's through your work experience that you've got involved with the sledge hockey. But tell us a little bit more about, what sledge hockey is, what it's about, how you could get involved, all those sort of things.
Well, sledge hockey is an adapted sport. It's for individuals who have a disability, but it's not specifically set up that way. Anybody can play the sport. And I think that's the unique thing about it. Just for example, as I was sharing with you guys earlier before we got on the air, that I just did a small little clinic for a school out in North Carolina area. One of the young players and his brother play in the mornings, and his brother doesn't have a disability, and to have the two of them go out with the school group and all of them be in an inclusive environment where everybody's playing this sport and I think that's a big thing about sledge hockey. And another thing is that if I was to take 14 or 15 individuals and put them all on a sled and have them all skating around, and if I was to pull 3 or 4 people just off the street to say, okay, can you point out the guys that have a disability, it'd be very, very difficult to do that. And I think it's a great equalizer. I think you could be the best athlete in the world and then go play against the guy who's been playing sledge hockey for 3 years, and I guarantee you the person who's been playing sledge hockey for 3 years will be a far superior athlete. But I think the ultimate thing about Sledge is that it's an opportunity for a person's quality of life, general well-being, and for the kids, it's being part of a team. They grow up watching the Winnipeg Jets, they grow up watching the Manitoba Moose, they may have a brother or sister playing hockey, and a lot of the times they're participants in terms of participants by watching, sedentary participant. So they go at the rink, they may be in their wheelchair, they'll be watching through the glass. But this is an opportunity where they can get out of their wheelchair, or if they use adaptive devices such as crutches, to be able to get into a sled and play hockey and become part of a team. And I think that's what it's about.
You know what, I think that is awesome. How great is that, for individuals to get to play, and get involved, be part of the team. There's nothing better than that. It is huge. Now, Bill, how many players are on the ice? Is it the same as hockey? Like, is it same kind of rules in that, or like the rules for the game and the players on the ice? Yeah, the rules are exactly the same. There's one exception that we always like to point out to anybody that's new, and it's called T-boning. So that's basically a person coming with the front of their sled and hitting another person on the side where the bucket is. And later on, we can explain what the bucket is when we go through some of the equipment. That's the only major difference. The nets are the same. They don't adapt the nets. All the rules are the same. Offsides, icing, penalties, they're all the same. Yep. And still they play 5-on-5 with a goalie as well. And they run power plays, penalty kills, same kind of gig? Same thing. And actually, one of the things that's really good about Winnipeg is, again, through the True North, movement, when they built the Iceplex, they were really kind enough to build an adaptable sledge hockey rink. It's the ACU rink, so the benches can be removed. Guys can skate right into the benches, and you can see right through the plexiglass. So it really adds another element to being as close to the stand-up game of hockey as possible, because it's being on the bench is one element that we kind of take for granted. Sure. When you're sitting on the ice and waiting for your line changes, and it's a little bit different, right? Being able to skate into the benches is nice. And that's at the Iceplex has done that? Yes, the Iceplex has done that. That's been wonderful for us. That's great. Good job for Chips. I didn't even know that. Like, that's awesome. Yeah, so I think that any rink that's being built in the city here it's a great opportunity to actually make them accessible. It's not very costly at the very beginning when you're building rinks, i.e. Grant Park, if they ever decide to build the rinks, and I know that there's a couple going out in Garden City. It takes a few $100s to make an accessible rink. If you have to retro a rink, that's when you run into high costs. But when you're building something from scratch, this is an opportunity to do it. So I call it the government's to do it. Make it a standard. There you go. There you go. Right from Bill.
So, you have a unique perspective as an administrator, coach, participant. Is it fun?
I love it. I think it's a great sport. I play stand-up hockey and I play sledge. And as I was explaining earlier, I can go play stand-up hockey and work out the lower half, and then I can go the following Saturday and I can work on the top half. So I get a complete workout. I just think it's an awesome opportunity for your core. Once you get really good at it, once you learn how to skate and turn and make the hockey stops and shoot, I think it's just one of the best games on the play on the ice next to stand-up hockey. I don't think you can get any closer. I think it's just a really neat sport to play. Love it. So your upper body's got to be pretty strong. You have to be doing some push-ups to keep going. Yeah, well, not me. I try, but it's I got other things going on. But I can definitely tell you, your upper body does increase in strength, even without doing the sit-ups. If you're skating with your your shoulders and your arms and your biceps, and you do strengthen it over time. And we have one player who's on the Canadian developmental squad, which is the farm team of the national team. And for Manitoba, I think we should be very proud of that, and the fact that we've been around for 5 years. Where Ontario has over 100 teams of sledge hockey. Oh, really? And they've been around for probably close to 30 years. Manitoba's got 5 years under its belt, and we got one guy on the national developmental squad. So, and I can tell you, he does push-ups and pull-ups. He's in pretty good shape. He's been probably. I don't know. Yeah, might not be for you. I don't know. That's right. I might have to work out. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. We're going to break away. Before we break away, we're going to talk about the Culligan tip of the week. And the Culligan tip of the week is, parents, check your helmets. Helmets all have expiry date, and it's 3 years on that helmet. So take a look at your helmets. Make sure they're good to go. When we come back, we're going to bring in Sam from one of Bill's players. Look at the gear of all sledge hockey and what's going on. We'll be right back at you.
the equipment here with sledge hockey is unbelievable. Bill, you're going to explain here what's going on. We got Sam Unrau here, you know, one of the players that plays with Bill. Like, welcome to the show, Sam.
Thank you very much for having me.
You know, looking at the gear here, Bill, I'm going to let you take this away. Can you explain to the audience there a little bit about the equipment here and, you know, how it's changed? You're just looking at it, you can see the difference.
I sure will, Willie. Actually, I'll get Sam to help me out as we go along. Well, first of all, Willie, I wanted to bring this one in because specifically to show everybody what we used to start off. In 2007, 6 guys started using this particular sledge hockey equipment, and we used to call ourselves the human curling rocks because we couldn't stop spinning around. It has no runners whatsoever, all made out of cast iron. If you don't mind, Willie, I'm going to stand up just briefly.
Yeah, for sure.
This is probably weighs about 65 to 70 pounds. The runners here are the blades, skate blades, in comparison to the new equipment that we use. These pieces of equipment, these are skate blades that you can actually take right off the sled and take to your local skate sharpening place, and they'll sharpen up just like a pair of skates that you use for stand-up hockey. The frame itself is made out of aluminum, whereas comparison, this was piping. This is also, it can be a retractable. This is Sam's sled, and he's got it set up specifically for his length. A lot of the league sleds are retractable, so you can move in and out that nose to accommodate a person's size. These blades can be taken right off and readjusted, and you can actually order longer ones that actually can give you even more speed. So in comparison to this one we started with in 2007, the nose isn't retractable, it's all one piece, and it weighs about 65 pounds. I would say that one weighs, what, Sam, maybe 25 pounds?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, around 25 pounds.
So this is obviously the bottom of the sled. Let's flip it over to see the front part of it.
Yep.
And that's like that's got to be way more comfortable, eh, Sam, compared to what the old days were?
Oh, definitely. I remember playing in these old beast of sleds, and to have something that is more conformed to you and something that literally feels attached to you is a great piece of equipment, and that's why I love the advance of technology in sledge hockey.
And just the size of it and the weight difference, Sam, that's pretty big, man. Like, you know, you'll be able to rip around quite better on the new version compared to the old version.
Absolutely.
I don't know about this, Joe. This one here would kind of, you know, you might have to work out with this one.
This looks like a dolly, like you carry freight in right now.
It's huge.
In an old jet seat. This is more of a Cadillac here.
Exactly. You got the Cadillac and the dolly.
Yeah.
Now, Sam, can you show us a little bit about the sticks that they use?
Yeah, for sure. Each player, when they're playing sledge hockey, they'll get 2 sticks, one left, one right, and when they hold it similar to this. The neat thing about these sticks is the lie of the blade. As you can see, it's relatively flat. That's because we're really low to the ice. But the most vicious part about the sticks that everybody likes to talk about is the picks. And these picks can leave severe slash wounds in you. We actually played a 3-game series against Edmonton, and one guy went for 12 stitches as a result of...
I can see a temper start going, you know, just like in hockey.
Can we see? Try one on Willie. Let's see how much they pinch.
We always got to go there. It's pick on Willie time again. General likes going there.
Did you sign the waiver?
You know, that's
We've got to sign the waiver before we get, picked on.
Well, Sam, we know where you work, so we're going to come get your paycheck, buddy.
Awesome.
And I can see, like, when you're picking along, you have to have great hands, because you're picking along and then you flip over to take a shot. You got to be like really rolling. It's got to be hard.
Definitely. It takes a lot of hand-eye coordination. You start at the top of your stick for your picking.
Yeah.
Most guys just slam their stick on the ice. Comes into more of a puck handling situation. They can also just tap the puck up in front of them. So basically knowing where your stick and your puck is, that's the most important thing in sledge.
Now, Sam, have you... you know, you're on camera now. Did you sometimes give someone a little bit of give them one of those when you're a little bit upset?
Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how about in sledge? Has there, like, you know, seen sometimes like tempers do flare up in any sport, and sledge now. Have there been any scraps going on there?
Actually, luckily you have me on the show. I was the first Manitoba sledge hockey fight I was a part of.
Oh yeah,
with
nice.
Another athlete, and actually it took other people about 2 minutes to realize that we were actually in a fight because it was the first time that it ever happened.
Yeah.
But no, definitely tempers flare. Fights happened. We had a fight out in Minneapolis when we went to play, and. It's just like good old
part of the game. Yeah, it's part of the game. Like, you know, bring it back. Like, you know, a little bit of slap shot chill. Like, it's always happening.
Well, you always bring it down to the fighting, eh? What's up with that? No, Sam, why don't you tell us a little bit about your career? How long you've been playing, when you got started, why you got started, and what you like about sledge hockey?
Definitely. I'll start with why I like sledge hockey, actually, and that is being in a wheelchair. A lot of my exercise is pushing forward, especially with the wheelchair. So by pulling, definitely balances out a workout routine, especially for somebody in a wheelchair, which has great health benefits for those with disabilities. Started off in 2007 with the other 5 players using the 65-pound sleds. I got connected through the Health Sciences Center rehab, and they connected me with Bill Muloin, and we've been going ever since. I started off as a right winger, and then they moved me back to D because I can somewhat shoot.
That's great. Like, so now, how about the gear, Sam? Are you wearing hockey gloves, shoulder pads, elbow pads, helmet? Is it all, and mouth guards and neck guards? Is the whole gamut?
Yeah, everything that you would wear as a stand-up hockey. Most guys, because you're sitting, you're protected, so you don't need the jock strap necessarily. It gets actually rather uncomfortable sitting in a sledge for a couple hours.
Lots of baby power there, buddy.
Absolutely.
That's ironic. Do you wear a jock when you play, Willie?
Same problem. Going there again. We're
just kidding.
Fortify show going over the edge one more time.
Yeah, but no, definitely all the protective equipment is definitely the same. And the only thing custom is your sticks and your sledge.
Now the sticks, do they have composite sticks also? Like they're the same as the regular stick and all that? Do they have high-end twigs going?
Absolutely. These sticks that we have here for you today, we dub them the spoons. They're very beginner sticks. You can order different blades and make your own stick using a composite shaft, as well as there's some companies out there that actually make full composite sticks. I believe Easton's one of them, and also Mobility Sports also has one from the United States.
Wow, great. Now, Bill, it's now the puck goes in the corner. Who's coming out? Or are you two guys?
I'm coming out, of course.
You gonna let him get away with that, Sam?
Absolutely not. Joy of being 244 pounds is I have a little bit of weight that I can throw around on the ice.
Just give him one of those Lindros moves. Get out of the way, kid. I'm coming through. You know, we're gonna break off for a commercial. When we come back with Bill and Sam to talk a little bit more about sledge hockey. You know, getting at it and having some more fun. Bill's going to tell everybody, you know, what the website where you can sign up, what you want to get involved, and you know, it's all good stuff. We'll be right back at you.
Hi.
Patience. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Back at Royal Sports Shop here, you know, talking about sledge hockey, Jill. Our guests are great. We got the gear here. What a good show. And I love all the information about sledge hockey. I didn't know much about it. These guys are filling everybody in. I think it's a touchdown and a goal, top shelf coming right at you.
Yeah, it's exciting, you know, and you've managed to, you know, get your 2 best topics in, baby powder and fighting. So it's a win-win already.
You know, he's always going there, guys. He's always going there. But, you know, that's what makes the show so great. The Fourth Line Hockey Show, having lots of fun again. Now, we want to talk a little bit about, for individuals out there, off air, we're talking about there are females playing this sport also, right, Bill?
Yes, we do. We're fortunate enough to have 4 females. 2 of them are in the house league area, which is a program set up for kids that are 14 and under. And we have 2. The one plays intermediate, and the other girl plays, or female plays in the competitive team, and is part of the traveling team that goes outside of the province.
Now, Bill, is it age groups starting up? Like I know in hockey we have Tibbetts hockey. You know, do they have? How's it start going with sledge? Can you give us the ages groups and all the way to the top?
Yeah, it's a little bit more complicated with sledge because you're dealing with numbers or lack of numbers because it is a niche type of sport. So what we've been able to do, and we think it's very successful, is the fact that 14 and unders usually go to a house league or a beginners area. We actually dropped it down to 12 and under, and then for this year to see how it would work, and it really did pan out. But what we did halfway through the year is we identified the individuals who maybe been 10, 11, 12 who actually had a high skill level, and we kind of invited them, almost like the call up for the Winnipeg Jets. We kind of called them up and saying, you know, we'd like you to come and play intermediate level when we have games to even out the lines. And so they get called up to the intermediate level. Intermediate is 12 and over, 13 and over, and for any new player. So if you have a brand new player, doesn't matter if you're 22 or 52 and you've never played the game of sled, that's where you would go. And then we would teach you how to skate, how to turn, how to shoot the puck. And then if your skill level actually got to the point where you could advance and then try and make the traveling team, that's where you would end up going.
Now, you mentioned also earlier that there's a national team, right?
There's a Canadian national team, yes,
Yeah.
the Canadian national sledge hockey team. And as I mentioned earlier, we have one guy, his name is Sean Gilmore, he's on the developmental squad. And ultimately, there's a variety of goals that the kids have and the other older athletes may have. One of them might be to be part of a team, but the other one might be to represent Canada in the national squad. And I think that Manitoba has got a very, very good program. Again, it all goes back to partnerships with Sport Manitoba and Society for Manitobans with Disabilities. Without those type of organizations behind something like sledge hockey, you don't have those athletes that may eventually get onto the podium. And I think that we should be proud of them.
So Sam, why don't you tell us a little bit about your travels, where sledge hockey has taken you, some good stories you've had about while you've been participating?
Yep, definitely. Our first trip actually was Calgary 2009, and it was sort of an impromptu trip. We all decided to find our way there. So we went with a squad, I believe, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys, including the goalie. So we had a 2-person bench for relief. We went and we gassed out and left everything on the ice, and we came out with silver on our very first year.
Nice.
We just came back, practiced a little bit more, learned how to actually pass the puck, and then 2010 we went to Edmonton and won gold, which was the first gold medal in Manitoba history for sledge hockey. After that, we've gone back to Calgary a few times. The tournament out there is the Western Canadian Sledge Hockey Tournament, as well as we just starting our relationship with the Minneapolis team, Minnesota Northern, and we're hoping to have a lot of game series with them and have that classic Canadian-American rivalry that we can build on.
So if there's if any of our viewers have a family member or friend who wants to get involved in sledge hockey, how would they do that, guys?
Well, they can do a couple ways of doing it. One is we have a sledge hockey website, so you can Google Sledge Hockey Manitoba. Or the other way is to contact me directly at Society for Manitobans with Disabilities. It's okay to give out my phone number?
Absolutely,
okay. 975-3261. That's my direct line. And we have an open door policy for sledge hockey. Anybody interested in wanting to try just has to give us a heads up either via email or phone call. And I'll bring a sled, and you can give it a try. It's there's no commitment to staying, but if you ever want to give it a shot, anybody's welcome to try it. And that's individuals with and without disabilities.
So whether you're 8 or 48, doesn't matter, man, woman, child, whatever.
Yeah, we have some of the athletes as young as 6 playing, and they're so
Nice.
cute. They get tiny little sleds about this big and tiny little sticks, and they're just awesome to see out there. And that's what it's all about.
Now, Bill, what's the fee to sign up for sledge hockey? Is it like hockey fees or sledge hockey fees?
Well, they're similar. Again, ice is an expensive. Ice is expensive. So, the sledge hockey, we try to make it affordable for the program. It's $200 for a whole year registration, which is pretty affordable considering they get close to 20 sheets of ice per group. Mm-hmm. So you're talking house league in intermediate and the traveling squad or the senior squad, and that'll give them pretty close to 20 ice times for $200. So $10 a person. That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah,
in comparison to ice hockey.
Yeah, that's way low compared to what we play. We play pay to play and are pay for our kids.
Yeah, and I think like we were talking just off camera about all the friendships and people you meet playing any sport, and Willie and I still play our beer league hockey. And Sam, tell us a little bit about the friends you've made and the relationships you've made through sledge hockey.
Absolutely. One beautiful thing about sledge hockey is you get to meet people of varying disabilities, whether they're amputees, spina bifida, cerebral palsy, cancer, for example. You get to learn a lot about different disabilities, but also the friendship and the camaraderie, especially between the disabled athletes, is great. If you're having trouble with one thing, with a medical issue, lo and behold, somebody else has probably gone through it too. So you get that camaraderie. But the friendships, we hang out, we talk on, call each other up, text, party.
And go for a couple pops and some hot wings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Usually after every ice we go up, we have a pop or a beer, and you know, awesome. Just go and chat and hang out.
Even if you're fourth liners like Willie and I.
Yeah, you know, there's always room. I can't wait to go try this out, Joe. Our next one, we're going to do a segment to this. We're going to come out and play the guys.
You guys should come.
Oh yeah, we're going to try to come.
Oh yeah, we'll sit shot.
If I do, Sam, can you sharpen some of those things up for me, for Gerald? Like, I want to make sure that I'm ready to go and ready to go. And one thing I wanted to key on what you said was kind of like a support group a little bit too, right? Because people have been through things, and you know. It's like a group, which is awesome. That's huge.
Yeah, I just want to add something there, if you don't mind, Willie. Going on that line is the kids just came back from Fargo, and so it's so important. You know, when you have traveling hockey teams, they go, to go to Grand Forks, they go to Fargo, go to Minneapolis, and here you got a group of kids with various abilities. They're going out just like anybody else. They're going out to Fargo to play against the American team. The highlight of their life. All the comments I've heard back coming from parents is this is such a good community. It's growing into one of the best community development projects I've ever been part of, and I'm quite proud to be an employee of SMD and being able to move sledge hockey forward. And at the end of the day, I think I've done my job when I hear comments like this is what I need, and this is what my kid needs, and I'm glad I'm on a team, etc. So.
Well, we want to, that is so great, Bill, and we want to thank you, you and Sam, for coming out, Bill.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having us.
Hockey show and talking a little bit all about sledge hockey. Gerald, it was awesome, and it's so good to hear the stories like that. It's so good to have everybody partaking and getting involved in part of a team, and I just think it's awesome, and it's a great show today. It's really good.
I agree. At the end of the day, they're playing for the same reason you play soccer, any other hockey. It's the fun, workout, and the friendship.
Yeah. Huge. We're going to break off with the Ice Traders Tip of the Week, and I usually give that to my co-host here, my winger, Gerald Hasbeek.
You mean Quote of the Week?
Quote of the Week, yeah.
Quote of the Week. Yeah, so this one I just heard, it was pretty good. It was from a guy named Harold Snaps, who used to play in the NHL. So he never wore a helmet, and he was one of the last players to not wear a helmet. And one of the trainers said, you're going to suffer brain damage. And he goes, don't worry, Doc. If I do, I'll just come back as a forward.
We're going to break off. We'll come right back at you for the conclusion of the Fourth Line Hockey Show.
Excuse me, ma'am. Would you like to have my seat?
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Life is all about chances. Made, given, and taken. Chances missed. And chances that change everything. Chances to try, to fail, and then try again. Chances to grow. Chances to change. Chances to learn, teach, lead. Chances. It's all about what you do with them. Boys and Girls Clubs of Winnipeg. Donate. Check us out. Make the call.
What a great show today, had Gerald. We were talking about sledge hockey, Bill and Sam here. They showed us the gear. All information is awesome.
Yeah, you hear a lot about it at Olympic time and stuff like that, but it's good to hear about what's going on in the community, and it's how important it is to the participants, and just to explore how big of a deal it is for everything.
Well, going through the gear, and I'm very intrigued about the stick and how they have to flip over. They're pegging along, and then they flip over, and they can get quite the snapshot going. That's pretty hard.
And just at the elite level, how competitive it is, the little jabs. It's full on, big time. Committed athletes. It's real impressive.
Yeah, I like the fact too that like talking about the camaraderie and talking about how it's kind of like a sport group also, because a lot of these individuals, these athletes have been through some tough times together as a group, and they kind of lean on each other, which is like all sports people do that, and this is no different.
Yeah, the dynamics of a team, and who knows how many opportunities some of these individuals have had to be a member of a team, and just how important it is. Like we've said many times, a lot of our current friends, most of our current friends are from hockey teammates that we've played with, and just network walking around the city, how we know people through hockey, and it's the same for them.
Another great show today we had in sledge hockey. This week we're coming back with Neil Barker, Cam Barker's dad. We're going to talk a little bit about, Cam, NHL player, what it is, to be a hockey player. Neil was a pretty tough cookie back in the day also. Talking about being a dad with an NHL son in the league. All great stuff. So we're going to tune out right now. We'll see you guys next time.
opinions expressed on the program you have just watched are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of this station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.